Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and
that's hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot.
I got audio on my end.
18.
All right, y'all, 29 before the top of the hour, y'all. Time for the hot spot. What up, Brett?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brad Tat Tat, and this is the Hot Spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Well, y'all, Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years for shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the feet. Now, back in December, he was convicted of 3 felonies: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Now, prior to sentencing, y'all, Lanez asked the judge for some mercy and begged him not to ruin his life. He requested a sentence of either probation or minimal time in prison. He also said, quote, "If I could turn back the series of events that night and change them, I would. The victim was my friend. The victim is someone I still care for to this day. Everything I did wrong that night, I take full responsibility for." Well, after a 10-year sentencing verdict, Tory Lanez's lawyer said he was being made an example of because of his celebrity status. Check this out.
We're extremely disappointed that Tory did not get the sentence that we had certainly hoped for. I think the sentence handed down was incredibly harsh. I have seen cases of vehicular homicide and other cases where there's death and the person still gets less than 10 years. In this case, to get a 10-year sentence is extreme. And really just another example of someone being punished for their celebrity status.
I agree with that. I hate that. I hate that it happened to Meg Thee Stallion. But as far as the system and the court system, and they hate public figures, and I just have to agree with that, because if anybody do less time for a vehicular homicide or whatever, and then to give him 10 years for that, it just my thing is, if you're going to give him 10 years, then be fair across the board to everybody. That's all I'm saying.
Does anybody know if it's a full 10-year sentence? I believe it's state, and when it's
85%.
State, you serve like 85% or something like that. Is it like 10 do 5 or 10 do 4 or 10 do?
No, it's 10. It's a 10-year sentence, but he's probably going to get a couple of years time served already, and then he'll get another some more good time for that. So he probably end up doing about, if he does the whole thing, he'll do about 7 years.
But the reason why is the judge was mad because he felt like he harassed the victim after the fact.
That's true. That's true. They did say
I didn't know that. Okay.
Because then everybody else started talking about it, adding their 2 cents, and then
it's still
friends.
Excessive.
Right.
Yeah. The thing about it is, if you do something, make a mistake, just accept responsibility for it and own it or whatever, and then people will probably be a little bit more lenient. But that's the same thing Donald Trump is doing right now. He's pissing them judges off. And or whatever, and it's just not going to look good, because the court want to know that you got to let the courts know that you have remorse for your mistake.
That's right. Well, y'all, coming up next, we got Roxy's HBC. The time now is 26 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.